What's up, guys? Welcome to the Michael Key Podcast. There's a topic today I want to discuss that is just absolutely fucking bothering me. And excuse my language, but this is not going to be one for the faint of heart. This issue in Afghanistan is downright just terrible. It's been handled terrible, and I don't know with current leadership how it's going to turn around. It looks absolutely horrible. And for those of you that don't know, obviously everyone is well aware we've been in Afghanistan for over 20 years now. We invaded Afghanistan to eliminate the people that caused 9/11, which was 100% justified. You fuck with us, we're going to fuck with you. And about 10 years ago, I believe it was, we killed the people that were responsible. Now, I'm not going to speak on why we've been there for another 10 years, but what I will say is the way we have decided to leave this country is unforgiving. And it's unforgiving because we pull out just overnight, basically. We leave everything there with a bunch of supposed soldiers that don't even want to fight for their country. The one thing Biden did say with all this that I actually agreed with was he started having these press conferences and he said, why should we want to fight and die? Why should our soldiers die for something that, you guys aren't even willing to die for? And you guys being the Afghans. And he's right. He's 100% right. But what he's not fucking right about is leaving all of our weaponry, American citizens, and all the people that helped us for the last 20 years in these wars there without any kind of protection. He just pulls the military out. What kind of fucking genius do you have to be to just pull out the military, leave U.S. citizens, defenseless U.S. citizens, defenseless Afghan people that had helped us that are in danger, and the Taliban comes in and literally walks all over Afghanistan. Within, it seemed like a week. It may be longer than that, but it seemed like in a matter of a week, they had just completely taken control. So we have this huge outcry about getting our people out, which we should, and now we have to send soldiers back in to evacuate these people. Now, as of today, the general just talked, and he said there's been about 104,000 people we've evacuated. There's only 10,000 American citizens, I believe, that were there, and I don't think there was 100,000 Afghans that helped us. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. We're evacuating these people, and as of this morning, 12 U.S. servicemen have been killed. I think all or most of which were due to a suicide bomber. This is where my problem lies. Maybe I'm just too hot-headed to be the president of the United States. I don't know. But if I am Joe Biden, before this happens, I'm talking about if I screwed up like he did and I need to send everyone back and we're starting this evacuation, I'm telling the Taliban, look, we're going to leave, but we're going to leave when we fucking want to leave, and we're not going to leave until we have every one of the people that we want out of this country out, which is all the American citizens and the people that have helped us. And if any one of them or our military people get hurt, we're fucking coming after you. But he won't do that. In fact, he wants to cater to their deadlines, and he's going to stay at the airport. Fuck that. We're the United States of America. We have the most powerful army in the history of mankind. We can take over the world if we wanted to. And we're letting this fucking dog shit little country... Sorry. Afghanistan is probably a beautiful place. We're letting these fucking dog shit Taliban people tell us what to fucking do? That's pitiful. You know what that is? That's a product of participation trophy mentality that we have here in the United States right now. Joe Biden has probably never played a sport. He said some story. I saw some story he was talking about the other day about playing basketball or whatever, beating someone in basketball. He probably got his ass whooped. He's sorry. Most of the politicians are sorry. Lindsey Graham is another one that's sorry. He's talking about, we're going to impeach him, we're going to do all this. Lindsey Graham has lied his ass off. Tucker Carlson called him out last night. He supported like half the freaking Democratic judges that Joe Biden has put up, I think. Most of them are pieces of shit. They're liars. They just want to keep that job and get their fucking pension. It's a bunch of sorry shit. And we have people dying because of this. The Taliban don't give a shit. If I was Joe Biden, I would get up today in the press conference before I freaking consulted with anyone. I'd find out what happened. Oh, suicide bomber blew up our soldiers. Okay, let me address this. And I'd address the Taliban, and I'd say, look, I don't care if you did it or not. We're going to start fucking putting bullets in heads. And if you want leadership of this country, then you need to figure out who's doing it. And you need to find them, and you need to stop it. And you need to control it. Because we're going to start killing you, because we don't know who did it. The fact that the United States is bowing down to the Taliban is just sorry. Just let our military go. Let them do what they're trained to do. People are dying now. Like, I'm not one. I don't think we should mess with anyone, honestly. I don't think we should interfere in any kind of foreign issues going on. People want to fight each other, let them fight each other. It's not our business, like we did before World War II. It ain't our business. Until you start messing with us, you do you. Unless it's like an ally and it's something serious, then that's different. But you know, these little countries over there in the Middle East, let them fight it out. Who cares? Unless it's Israel, right? That's an ally. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, you know, these Iraq, Iran, all that. Who gives a shit? Why do we keep interfering in these people's lives? Because that's why they hate us anyway. Just let them do what they're going to do. They've been doing it for thousands of years. Their religion has not changed. Nothing. And I'm not even saying it's a bad religion. I'm just saying that just let them be. We have, you know, we're a Christian society. You know, we have Jews, we have everything. We let it be. You know? But the moment they come over here and fuck with us, like they did on 9/11, it's over with. That's when we interfere. But now that we're already there, we need to put the foot down. We need to show people that we are the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. Like, why can we not do this? We're so worried about being liked around the world. Our allies are going to like us. Our allies are going to like us because we're going to protect them, and we're on the same side. And they know that we have the power. We're trading with people. We have a great economy. We're open to doing business. We're not like shutting everyone out, but we're not going to interfere with other people in their foreign little bullshit. Why? Why mess with it? Unless it's like something like maybe Rwanda where you have like 1 million people getting slaughtered. That's different. Okay, but like, you know, Somalia, you know, like if they want to freaking screw up their own country, let them screw it up. You know what the difference is between here and there? Is that we fought and took over our country in the Revolutionary War. We revolted and took it over and started a new country. I keep trying to find a example or similarity with another country that may have done that, because there's been other countries that have had revolutions and stuff, but we literally told the people that were here, the English, the most powerful country in the world at the time, we fought a war with them, beat them, and told them to get the fuck out. And Like, up until World War II, we never, or even it was up until after World War II, because even the beginning of World War II, we weren't getting involved all that much until Japan attacked us. And then Hitler declared war on us, and then it was over with. It was over with. But then after World War II, we just start, interfering with everyone and trying to be police. And we're restraining ourselves when we go over there. If we're going to go fight someone, just fucking go fight someone, take them out, and move on. Like, you're telling me we couldn't destroy the Taliban in a month? Yeah, soldiers would die, but at least they're not dying, hiding behind a wall. At least they're out fighting, giving them a chance. I feel bad for them. I really do. Because imagine all this influx of people that you don't know who they are, and then now you got to worry about suicide bombers. And you have a president who is such a pussy and is worried about putting woman before men in a sentence. If you didn't catch that tweet he had. And not that that's a big deal, but I know why he did it. And that's why it bothered me. Because he's so worried about that, and he's not worried about these people dying. Yeah, he's going to say, oh, we're so sad, and we told you this was going to happen. Yeah, it's happening because you fucked up. And so just admit you fucked up, and now put your foot down and say, hey, Taliban, it's your time. It's over. You had your chance. We wanted this to be done safely. We were listening to you, but you didn't want to listen. We had 12 people die. Oh, it wasn't us. It was ISIS. Well, fuck it. That ain't our problem. That's your problem. I don't know why we don't do that. We don't like them anyway. If they want to govern the country, then we're going to hold them accountable. We hold our government accountable when bad things happen here, or we try to, right? But we're not. But we don't want to hold them accountable when they're killing our citizens and doing bad things. Yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me that, we have a society now that, and it's been like this for a while, even when I was growing up, the whole participation trophy things, but one thing I couldn't stand was, you're playing, I played football, and even up until high school, now college is a different deal when I was in college, but up until high school, it's like, oh, you're beating a team by 28 points, we're going to go to a running clock in the fourth quarter. Why? Play the fucking game. That's not our fault they suck. They need to work harder. They need to prepare better. A lot goes into this during the week. Same thing when you're younger. Oh, don't score, don't beat it by more than 21. I remember Pop Warner, like my dad, we had teams that used to go to the national championship for Pop Warner in Orlando. And every time we beat someone by more than 21 points, they'd have to write a letter to the Pop Warner thing apologizing. Are you kidding me? Get better coaching. Sometimes you can react two different ways if you get your ass whooped, and that is, damn, I hate losing, I'm going to work harder, or you're not going to play anymore. But who cares? Weed them out. Why are we worried about it? The people that love to play will keep playing, win or lose, and they'll work harder. They'll earn it. And then they'll eventually beating the people that beat them. And it's just a big cycle. It'll go around. The people that were winning and got beat, they're going to want to work harder and win the next time. But now it's like, oh no, we can't let them win too much. We have the 10-run rule in Little League. That's the worst fucking rule that's ever been established. The way I see it is, parents pay to sign their kids up to play these sports. Let them play the sport. Why are we cutting games short? 4 innings. If you have a good team, they're only going to play 4 innings over a 10-game series. That's out of 6 innings in Little League. Hell, that's 20 innings that they would miss out on. 20 innings if they 10-run rule them every time. So that's almost 4 games. It's 3.5 games almost they miss by being good. The league should pay the money back to the parents for those 3.5 games. It's just sorry. We're worried about what gender we are and what we say to people in a country that supposedly has freedom of speech. We're worried about how we say it. We don't allow cussing on the TV. We don't allow, YouTube won't monetize this because I cuss too much. Why? It's words. Let me have my opinion. I have the right to have my opinion. I have the right to say my opinion. Good or bad. If you don't agree with it, then who cares? Someone doesn't agree with me, I could care less. If they have an opinion that I think is absolutely absurd, I think they're an idiot and I move on. Most of the time I don't even tell them. Unless it's something that really bothers me, and I'll tell them and I have my opinion. They can think I'm an idiot. Most people that listen to this will probably think I'm an idiot. I don't care. I could care less what people think. Doesn't matter. But when we're trying to have everyone be winners and no one be losers, we get this big, colossal fuck up that we're seeing right now in the Middle East. Because we have a president who is controlled by his counterparts, his posse, whatever the hell you want to call him, starting with his vice president, who's at his back every time. I mean, I've never seen a president that has the VP at their back in every press conference. That's just ridiculous. Beyond me. But, he's so worried about getting up there and saying something. He doesn't take questions. And when he does take questions, he has a note card with all the people's names and calls on the specific people that are allowed to answer the questions. Sorry, the stock market bell just went off. I'm not even worried about how it closed today. Because this is so aggravating. What's going on? People will say, oh, well, you just don't like Biden to begin with. No. I don't like people that are just soft. Like, just get up. I just don't like people that get up and just talk. Like, I hate listening to politicians talk because they're just fucking lying. And when they go to answer questions, they just dance around the questions. They won't answer it. Just answer the damn question. And, you can hate Trump all you want. Maybe you think he said a lot of stupid things. At least he answered the question. He just didn't answer it the way you liked him to. That's fine. It's better than someone getting up there and not allowing you to ask a question. He has a card. He gets okay, this guy from this person, you're next. Like we're in a fucking classroom. Then someone asked him a question the other day about some poll about how favorable people felt about him now. And he's like, oh, I haven't seen that poll. Yeah, right. But yeah, it all goes back to, just how we raise people. Me and my girlfriend, we don't agree on a lot of things, maybe with like politically or whatever, but there's one thing we do agree with, and that's with us both being athletes and playing, what I would consider a high level of, athletics, and that's Division I college sports. We do agree with the whole participation trophy thing. We agree that that's a freaking, probably the worst thing you can do for a child. Oh, yeah, get a medal for losing. Even if it's second place. Like, we have Olympians going to the Olympics celebrating getting a bronze and silver medal. Now, I have never been in the Olympics. I've never been good enough to be in the Olympics. And there's a time you can celebrate it. Like, if the person in front of you is getting a world record or is just way better than you, right, then hey, sometimes there's just things out of your control. You did your best. Be happy you got the medal. I'm fine with that. But, like, the one guy I appreciated more than anything in the Olympics was Rai Benjamin after he lost to Carson Warholm in the 400-meter hurdles. He was so pissed about losing. And Carson Warholm crushed his own world record to win that race. And Rai Benjamin beat Carson Warholm's previous world record. He ran a hell of a race, and he was fucking pissed about losing. He wanted. He was almost in tears when he saw his family, and that's how he should have been. Because that guy will come back and win. He'll work his ass off to come back and win. Oh, it's not all about winning and losing. Yeah, the fuck it is. It's about winning and losing. There has to be a winner. There has to be a loser. It's economics. Just like there's a buyer and a seller. There's a winner and a loser. That's what makes us the greatest country in the world leading up until now. Have you seen our sports compared to everyone else's? Have you seen the opportunities we provide people through athletics and academics here? You see a few people going abroad and studying, but you see a hell of a lot more people coming here to study at our colleges. You see everyone wanting to come play American sports because the money's good. Why is the money good? Because we want to watch it. Have you ever watched a Australian rules football game or a rugby match? Yeah, they may get into it every once in a while, but it's a gentleman's game, you know? That's how the English always say. Oh, it's a gentleman's game. Meanwhile, in the United States, we're talking shit and fighting in the middle of football games, and I love it. But football is getting soft too. They're changing the rules, and that documentary they came out with, I think it was last year for college football, was one of the greatest documentaries on football, and it talked about how football was actually created to keep men during peacetime, aggressive. Like, it was based off of war. And it also was there to teach them how to control anger. And now it's just making everyone soft because they're changing the rules. They're not allowing you to hit, right? And they're basically running it like they're running our military now. Just stand back. Don't be too aggressive. Don't, when you do that, you're putting chains on them. You're not allowing them to go with the flow of things, and more people actually get hurt, or more people die like they're fucking doing now in Afghanistan. It's all one correlation. Maybe I'm a little extreme, I don't know, but it bothers me. And I'm sure it bothers a lot of people. We have a lot of soft people here. A lot of soft people. There are people in other countries. I felt so bad for those Afghans last week that were hanging onto the wheels of a freaking airplane, knowing it was going to crush them when those wheels went up, so they just fell to their death. But the United States is such a bad country, right, that people are willing to fucking, take a chance by hanging on the wheels of an airplane for however thousands of miles, going however fast. There's no hope for them living on that. But they didn't care. They'd rather fucking do that and drop out of the sky from an airplane than be in that country. They wanted to get over here. They wanted to be free. I think we take advantage of that. I think we take that for granted. We have all these people, down there in Mexico and stuff want to come up here. You don't see Americans want to go to Mexico. You don't see Americans want to go to Canada. No, it's people always trying to get in here. Cubans want to come over here. Why? Because they have a good country that's run absolutely poorly. Their government is terrible. It's fucking oppressing people. Listen to Cubans talk. When all that stuff's going on in Cuba right now, they are pissed off because they know that it could be something that is way better than what it is. We have these freaking socialist and communist people that don't understand what Marxism is. They should go read a book. Why Nations Fail is a very good one that will explain what happens. And maybe they'll get an understanding on why these Cubans voted for Trump. Why they don't support dumbasses like Joe Biden willing to give in to these socialists. $3.5 trillion, I think the House just passed the other day. Just giving shit out. Giving shit away. What more is there to say about it? My opinion doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. I gotta be careful, how far I go with this, because I'll get kicked off a damn Spotify, and I'll be canceled right before I even start. I don't even have that many listeners. I'll be canceled. Whatever. If I can't express my freedom of speech, I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. And I'm not a radical by any means at all. I have some liberal tendencies. I have a lot of conservative tendencies. I try to see both sides. But when you start having people die, not because we're in a war zone, but because we had to send them back to a war zone for no good fucking reason. You know, again, I'm not saying whether or not we should have been in Afghanistan in the first place 20 years ago. I think we should have. They killed 3,000 people. We should have wiped them the fuck off the planet then. But we were there, and we chose to exit, but how we did it was absolutely terrible. You see them walking around with our guns. The M4. Half of them, I saw more M4s than I saw AK-47s now. They have our Humvees. They have helicopters. Excuse me. Got jets probably. Who knows? Why didn't we go blow that shit up? Once we learned that the Afghan army fell, all right, time to go start dropping bombs on our shit so they don't get it. This is absolutely horrifying to see. It'll be over August 31st, though, regardless of how many American soldiers die or civilians die or how many are left that we don't evacuate. You know, we will never know what that number is because according to them, we got everyone out. Plus 104,000 other Afghans. That's what they're always going to tell us. Meanwhile, we're going to be running away with our tail between our legs out of this godforsaken country. And we'll be back in a week. Probably. We'll be dropping bombs. We always do. We always go start dropping bombs on someone. This is just, if I'm China or Russia, I'm looking at this and I'm just laughing. Like this atrocity. No respect. If I'm China, I'm like, yep, we're taking Taiwan. I'd invade them right now. You know why? Because the American leadership would sit back and say, oh, should we help them? I don't know. I think we should just let the Taiwanese deal with themselves. If we're going to do that, whatever, fine. Then, but I don't want to hear nothing else about it. If we're going to let them do it and we're not going to interfere, I'm okay with that. Fine. Let them fight for themselves, right? But let's pull out of fucking South Korea. Let's pull out of Japan. Let's pull out of Afghanistan and all those places and not let anyone and not interfere with anyone. You're on your own. If we want to do that, fine. Or if we want to just have military bases in these countries so that when someone does fuck with us, we can react fast, I'm fine with that. But we don't leave those compounds until someone messes with us. We let everything happen. Let it happen. I'm okay with that, with them saying that. But that's not how it is. We're going to help. So if we're going to help, if you're going to fuck with us, then let's go help. Let's be respected. You know, I think it was Ronald Reagan or someone said, it's better to be feared than it is to be liked when it comes to stuff like this. I think that's 100% true. Who cares if China likes us? They're not going to stop doing business with us. It would wreck their economy. It hurt ours. But just remember, we were going well before China ever had an economy. We'd get back on track. A communist country would not. You know, like, I think we would win that battle. As big as China is, we would win that battle because their government structure will not allow them to prosper without us. And, you know, these other countries, like, look at North Korea. When the Soviet Union fell, when you read and all that, they were doing a little bit better when they had the Soviet Union. Just a little bit. They were still screwed up. But when the Soviet Union fell is when it really went to shit. So these countries that rely on these other communist countries, they're not going to end well. And they'll realize that. It doesn't work. But you know who has built a bunch of countries? The United States. We go to war with Japan. Yeah, we dropped 2 nuclear weapons. When you look at if we didn't have done that, if we wouldn't have done that, the loss of life would have been far greater. And that ended the war. And what did we do? Japan is one of the most thriving economies in the world. Look at South Korea. We completely wipe out the whole Korean peninsula. And then we give North Korea back. And we keep South Korea. South Korea is thriving. But the North, that was communist controlled, go listen to Yeonmi Park talk about that, the North Korean defector on YouTube. It's sad. You want to cry. It's terrible. Oh, but we want socialism and we want communism. Well, fucking go live there then. You don't have to live here. You're allowed to go. You can go. Doors open. We don't need you. I'd rather have someone who wants to come from another country and work hard and respect our way of life than someone who is going to whine and complain about it. Go. Y'all can trade spots. Go to Venezuela. Venezuela used to be one of the biggest economies in the world, most thriving economies in the world. Now it's nothing. Go look into Zimbabwe. I had to write a paper on Zimbabwe when I was in college in an econ class. And what happened there was just terrible. It was devastating. It was one of the fastest growing economies in the world. They have a crazy amount of natural resources. It falls into the wrong hands. They get rid of everyone that had any knowledge about farming or anything like that. Told them to go back to England. And they gave the land to, politicians and stuff that didn't know how to farm. They've gone into a huge drought, and they are one of the poorest countries on earth now. Bad leadership will fuck a country up. And thankfully in the United States, we can only have bad leadership for a minimum of 4 years, unless he gets impeached. But, that's one thing good about it. But then we have these, the president really, Biden only can do so much. If you don't like Biden, you get on the positive note, he can only do so much bad. If you didn't like Trump, he could only do so much bad. Same thing with the other presidents. But Congress can do a lot bad, and they don't have a term limit. These people like Nancy Pelosi, if I did the shit that Nancy Pelosi's husband did, I would be in jail. Even if I did it for a client, I would be in fucking jail. Buying call options on Google 2 or 3 days before they announce that they're not going to go through with this antitrust suit. Oh my God. And the only way he would have known that is with Nancy Pelosi as his wife. If that's not insider trading, I don't know what is. Highly illegal and made millions of dollars. And they all do it. That Republican candidate, the woman, Blumwood, she's freaking corrupt as hell too. She didn't win, thankfully. And then that dumbass from North or South Carolina that was, sold his whole portfolio before the COVID fallout. Come on, dude. Like you didn't know something was up. That's terrible. A lot of people lost money with that. Same thing going back to, 2008, 2009, right? All that stuff that went on. A lot of people lost everything. But these politicians find a way. It's so sad. It's just, we elect these people and they come out with this message when they're going to get elected. We're not draining the swamp, or they always bash each other and all that stuff, right? But none of them want to get up. They always had the same big words and nice, speeches and terminology. I like the guy that gets over there and says, "Hey, dude, you're fucking stupid." No, that's not true. That's why Trump appealed to so many people, because he did that. He got up there and people were like, "Oh, he's insulting people." No, he's not. He's just calling them out for what they are. He's not perfect. We all know that. But none of them are. The people that are already there are way worse than him. And he just called them out on their shit. Like, if we're going to let people run the country, then I want to know what they're thinking. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is or how they need to express it. Just say what you mean, dude. or woman, whatever, or whatever the other genders are. I don't care what you are, as long as you're doing a good job. And as long as you're truthful and you're saying what you mean, but they won't ever do that because they're so worried about getting votes. I'm always under the impression that if you're just doing a good job, you'll get the votes. Let your actions get you the votes and not your speech. Because I respect someone a lot more when I know what they're thinking, if they're saying what they mean, and they're going to practice it. Like, I don't like Bernie Sanders' policies. I think Bernie Sanders is an idiot. But I will give the man credit. He doesn't deviate from his philosophy. He says what is right to the best of his knowledge. It's not right. You know, his whole socialism mindset, but at least he sticks to it. Love him or hate him, right? And but like people like Biden and stuff that have been there for 70 years, you never know what they're thinking. Hell, you go back to the 1970s, Biden was racist as hell talking. He was freaking Jim Crow-esque 101. And now, I mean, you would think he's like God's little angel, you know, and he's not. He didn't know what the hell is going on. The hell, he probably forgot how racist he was. You know, you have Kamala Harris, you never hear from her. Who knows what the hell she's doing? And God forbid Biden gets impeached, because then you have Kamala Harris as the president. And then if we get rid of her, right, then you have Pelosi as the president. I mean, it's not a good situation. And I don't know who'd be after Pelosi, but any of them, none of them are good. It's freaking ridiculous what's going on. You know, you feel bad for the Afghans. And I feel bad for the Afghans because it seems like something that we thought, you know, God, we're really like interfering in their business, you know, in their country. Are we making it worse? Like, we don't know, right? We just know we got soldiers over there fighting. They die. And Afghanistan's not a good place to be. But from the looks of it, it looks like the Afghan people were terrified that we left. I mean, it was almost like they want us to be there, because they know that the Taliban is way worse than anything we were doing. But I think, you know, Biden should come out and say, hey, look, motherfuckers, it's over with. You started killing us, it's done. We're coming after you. Let them beg. No, we didn't do nothing. It's not us. Well, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. You're dying. You're dying until you find the people that did do it and stop it. And if Americans keep dying, we're going to keep killing more of you. We're going to make sure that we kill more of you than Americans that die. So we had 12 die, we're going to kill 24 of you. You know, imagine being a mom or a dad or a brother, sister, or a wife, or a son or daughter now. Yeah, 12 people are going to receive letters from the military. Sorry, your son has been killed in action. Blah, blah, blah. And they know that they were in Afghanistan because of this fuck up that Biden has. It's not like they were there stationed there and, you know, they knew that they could die. It's like, oh, we left. We pulled them all out. And, oh, we sent them back because we fucked up. He wasn't really supposed to be there. That wasn't what the plan was. But we fucked up and left all the American citizens there, so we got to send them back and get them out. And he got blown up. Because, you know, we're not going to allow him to do what he was trained to do. We're just going to be like a little police force. You know, the fact that the Taliban is outside the airport and allowing people to come in or out. Why are we allowing that? I would fucking kill every person with a gun that we don't know there. That's what I would order them to do. If they have a gun, shoot them. And I tell the Taliban, you're not to be within a 100 square mile radius while we're here. What you do afterwards, whatever. We'll leave. but you're not to be within 100 square miles of here. That way, if something does happen, we know it isn't you. We'll find out whoever did it. If it's ISIS, we'll fucking find them. We're good at that. But, no, it's... When do you, decide that's the last straw? I don't think Biden's talked at all. I haven't seen any notification. He's probably crying and worrying about his polls now, what people think about him. But this is just absolutely terrible, and I feel bad. I hope it gets better. I hope that he steps up, and I pray for him, and I hope that, he just takes responsibility and, Fido, fuck it and drive on. Take care of it. Get all our people out. Be done with it. But in the meantime, make sure you establish with the people over there that we're the fucking boss. And we'll do what we want to do, and we're going to leave on our own fucking terms. I told you this one wasn't going to be one that was censored. So, those are just my thoughts on this whole thing. If you don't like what I said, whatever. It's my opinion, right? I think a lot of people will agree with me, though. And I haven't deviated from how I've thought. This is just what I see. I haven't fought in the military. Okay? This is just me from the outside looking in. But I hate seeing our people die. At least, I hate seeing our people die for no good reason. You don't want anyone to die, but to die for no good reason, for a fuck up. A huge fuck up. And it all could have been avoided. These 12 people, these 12 excellent men or women, I don't know, they haven't said, what they were, but I can guarantee they're at least a man or a woman. Utmost respect to them and condolences to their families who are going to be receiving a letter today or tomorrow. That it was their son or daughter that was killed over there. And God, that's just heart-wrenching. So I'll leave you guys with that. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Thanks.